This is community television from Parsippany, New Jersey, Channel 3, where video on the go.
Hello, I'm Elisa Kennedy, and today we are visiting one of the most active and longest-running community theaters in the area, the Barn Theater in Montville, New Jersey. Today we'll be talking with some of its members to learn about its history, its current activities, and its membership. We'll go inside now to take a look at what's going on and learn about the 4th annual playwriting competition, which is in progress right now. This is George Schultz of Montville, who is president of the Barn Theater. George, how long have you been involved with the Barn?
Very roughly about 6 years.
And how did you first come here?
I came to buy vegetables at the barn and found out it was a theater and ended up in a play.
That's wonderful. Where does most of the membership come from? Where do your members come from?
We're very local. Most of our membership comes from Montville, Parsippany, Mountain Lakes, Kinnelon, Butler, and the necessary surrounding areas here.
And how does one get involved as a member of the Barn? How can you come up here and become a member?
Very easily. We will accept memberships from people who throughout New Jersey and New York, and all it takes is a willingness to work in any area, either backstage, onstage, any type of artistic talent at all is gratefully appreciated.
How about just audience participation?
Audience participation is also appreciated, and we have memberships that service us. Usually the usual membership is roughly around $40 a year, but we're running an early bird special now, which is a saving of $8. For $32 you can get a membership which entitles you to all the major productions plus 3 workshops.
How many major productions do you do each season?
We do actually 5 major productions and a summer program. The summer program is usually a light musical, which we hope will be entertaining for the people in the neighborhood.
Well, that's quite a bargain. You get 8 shows a year as a
Actually, it
member of the
works
Barn.
out to be 9.
9.
Nine.
Okay. Tell me, after this playwriting competition, what's coming next?
After the playwriting competition, we will be doing Grease, which is in May. We will finish the season off with Grease, which stops. The last performances are the first week in June, 4th and the 5th. We have a very terrific slate for next year, if you're interested.
Yes, please tell us about next season.
We are going to be doing the summer show, which is Jock Burrell. And our first play of the year will be Vanities. Our second play, which is our real first musical, will be Brig of Doon. Then we're going to do a mystery comedy called Death Trap, followed by Elephant Man, and closing the season out with Sweeney Todd.
That's quite an ambitious season. The season starts in September, runs through June, and then you have your summer production.
That's correct.
And what about the workshops?
The workshops are divided. Usually we have 3 major workshops a year. One of them, of course, the one you're going to be looking at now, which is a playwriting competition, which I'm sure Pat Bergman, who you're going to talk to later, will give you much more in-depth information on. But it is something that was started about 5 years ago, which has grown tremendously in 5 years. Our second workshop of the year is usually a musical variety show, and the first workshop is usually a drama of minor nature that we can get a lot of people involved in.
This is Pat Bergman, who originally conceived the idea of the original playwriting competition. Pat, can you tell me how this all came about?
Yes, well, the Barn Theater was celebrating its 50th anniversary, and I was on the workshop chairman, and I decided that something special should be done for the community, because they have supported us for 50 years. And I thought maybe the best way would be to encourage playwrights, try to encourage their craft, and where else better Barn Theater. And that's when we decided to do the playwriting competition.
And how did you implement it? How did you go about
Well, it was a lot of fun, a lot of strain, because it was the first time that it came out, so the wheel had to be invented at that time. We thought about having judges. Now, we decided that we would have 4 judges that would be people who would be experts in their field, either professors or writers or playwrights. But we also decided, which would be an exciting innovation, is also have the lesbians as one of the judges. Now, they will not be the determining factor, but they would get the feeling of being a part of an experience. They finally say, I love this play. Or usually they just go home and talk to their husband and say, the husband was terrible, the husband was terrible. So that's how it was. That was the judges. Then we started with the publicity, which gave us a tremendous help because it was our 50th anniversary. We got a tremendous amount of coverage. We have had judges, we've had Bruce Chadwick of the Daily News. We've had Joel Siegel of ABC. And at that time, when he was interviewed for the playwriting competition, and he was interviewed by Video on the Go, he said, I'm too frightened to write a play myself. He said, I don't think I can do it. 2 years later, he wrote the first, the Jackie Robinson play that flopped. He tried. He was out there, and I think that we were inspiration. We've also had Sally Jesse Raphael from WFCA, a commentator on the radio program, and she came and she was a judge. And the next time she talked about the Barn Theater, she was very complimentary, but she did say we were in God's country in New Jersey, somewhere out there that she had to drive, but she enjoyed herself. We've had people from the New Jersey Shakespeare Theater. We've had a whole range. And this year we have some exciting judges. We have Rod Marion, who judged this year. He is the literary director of the New York Circle Rep, and his job there is to see what plays should be presented in the New York Circle Rep. So I think that's a great plus for the playwrights here. We have Holly Dukakis, who is also a literary director at the Whole Theater Company in Montclair. We have Ramon Delgado, who is the editor of the book, which is an annual publication, and it's called The Best Short Plays. And that also, I think, would be very exciting for the playwrights. And let me see, and then we have Wolf Jackson, who is the theater editor of the Show Business newspaper. So I think we have a very good selection of judges this year. And of course, the terrific audience.
That's very impressive. Now, how do you select the plays that are in this competition?
Well, a lot of arguments, many hours of deliberation, but we come out and we think that we have a very fine selection this year. The first year, I received about 75 plays. The next year there was about 90. Now I don't know, but I think it's well over 100 plays. We have been written up in many of the different publications for playwriting all over the United States, so we're getting well known in that area.
So that your plays come in from all over the country?
All over the United States. That's correct.
And you have a committee here
yes,
who reads the plays and selects 4. Is that what you're usually?
3 or 4.
3 or 4
this year
plays are in
3. 3 will be judged, that's right. There will be 4 presented, but 3 judged, because one play was so wonderful that they decided that because it was written by the same playwright that was also going to have his play produced, that they just wanted it to be produced and shown to the audience, but not to be voted on. So this year there will be 3 shows voted, 4 shows produced.
Marge Gaffney is with us today. Marge is a longtime member of the Barn Theater. She's going to tell us a bit about the history. Marge is also serving as producer of one of the original plays in this week's competition. Marge, please tell us a bit about the beginnings of this community theater.
A group in Mountain Lakes in 1928 got together and found a chicken coop on the boulevard in Mountain Lakes and started productions. That lasted a few years, but the property was sold. And they looked around and found a blacksmith shop in Parsippany on Route 46, which they rehabilitated. And the first show opened in 1953. It was Goodbye My Fancy down in the newly renovated building, which was called the Barn Theater. The name of the group was Mountain Lakes Dramatic Guild, but because they had renovated a barn, they called it the Barn. And we are now officially, since we moved to this building, the Barn Theater.
Marge, when did you move to this building?
We opened April 1966 with the Miracle Workers.
The Miracle Worker was the first show at this facility.
That's right. We opened with a gala cocktail party and a movie actress, and it was a very wonderful evening. The first musical that the theater ever did was Guys and Dolls, and we did it again here on our 50th anniversary.
When was the 50th anniversary here at this facility?
2 years ago.
Marge, what capacities have you served in at the barn other than producing?
Well, mostly backstage, but I have had a few acting jobs. I've been the Queen in My Fair Lady, and in She Loves Me, I was, I guess, high-class drunk. I was out cold for one whole scene.
I have Jay Nguyen here with me today. Jay has been at the barn about 12 years. He served as director, actor, and board member. Jay, of all the activities here at the barn, what have you found the most fulfilling?
Well, I find them all fulfilling, but I think directing is, for me, the most fun. I guess it's because when you direct, you have a chance to, you know, put yourself into every little part of the play, the lighting, the costuming, the works, not just the acting and the singing and whatever. And with acting, you know, you have to worry about your character, and that's really what you worry about, is what you're doing on the stage. When you direct, you worry about everything. I like that.
How many shows have you directed here?
About 8 or 7, something like that. I've had very good opportunities have been afforded me. I've done Gypsy and Fiddler on the Roof and Oliver and Whose Life Is It Anyway, and I Do, and Prisoner of Second Avenue, Rainmaker. And the first show I ever did here was a play called Scuba Duba.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember it too.
What was the first play you ever acted in over here?
Born Yesterday.
Born Yesterday.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, 12 years ago.
What are your plans for next season at the barn?
Well, this one I'm very excited about, because I get excited about all of them, but this one in particular, because I think it's one of the rare times in a theater that you can get suspense, drama, humor, great singing, great lyrics, great music. We're going to do Sweeney Todd, and that's a little different from usual sort of musical. It's not a musical comedy, by the way.
It's an ambitious undertaking.
Yes, it is.
And I wish you so much luck with it, Jay. Thanks. Barbara Krakowski of Parsippany, who is theater chairman of the Barn Theater. Barbara, how long have you been at the Barn?
15 years.
And can you tell me a little bit about what a theater chairman does?
Okay, the theater chairman is basically in charge of every production that goes on the stage. You kind of oversee that everybody is staying within the bounds of the budgets and doing as creative and good a job as they can within those bounds.
I see, Barbara. Can you tell me what opportunities there are for the community at the Barn Theater, what other people who don't know anything about the Barn can do here?
Everything. We're always looking for people. You always want new faces on stage. You always need the help backstage. Any facet of the theater is available to them. If someone's a good carpenter and wants to enjoy building, he'll get a lot of satisfaction here. That's another reward at the theater. You get a lot of satisfaction, a lot of applause.
And how can someone get involved?
Okay, they could call the Barn, or they could watch their local papers. And if they want to get involved in the production, they can come to the auditions, which is always advertised in all the local papers and on the radio stations. And they just tell the director and the producer what they want to be involved with.
In all the activities you've been involved in, Barbara, what do you find the most fulfilling for yourself?
Acting. I enjoy that facet of it the most.
And can you tell us what your very favorite performance was?
Oh, jeepers. I guess I still always hold a place for House of Blue Leaves when I was Bunny Flingus. That was a very satisfying production. She's a crazy lady. You don't get a chance to be that crazy.
An excerpt from the play, The Pinch Hitter.
Did you have your breakfast?
I don't have time.
But it's on the warmer. I made scrambled eggs and ham.
The kids will eat it.
Well, maybe they will, but you're the one who's been complaining for the past week that I don't get up in time to make your breakfast.
That's all right.
Oh, sure it is, as long as I'm the one who's
complaining.
You won't believe what this guy wants. A cedar-lined bathroom. Who ever heard of a cedar-lined bathroom?
Maybe he wants to keep the moths out.
I wish he'd make up his mind. First it's a sunken living room, then it's a sunken pool. Hope he finds a sunken treasure of paper, I'll tell you. Because you know what? This guy's gonna go bankrupt. I'm feeling my bones. I'm gonna get the last piece of marble laid in the entrance door, the last piece of mosaic tile in the bathroom, and he's gonna get me and say, whoops, guess what? Oh, I can feel it in my bones.
Marvin, don't borrow trouble.
Borrow? I don't have to borrow. I got enough to give it away at 10% interest. I'll see you later.
What time will you be home?
I don't know. I'll call you.
That's what you always say, and then you don't show up at all when you come in at 4 o'clock with 20 people for cocktails.
The key word is flexible, Marie. You've got to be flexible.
I'd like to give you flexible in the shape of a rubber hose. Marvin, I bought this nice roast here tonight. I thought maybe we could eat late tonight after the gig.
We'll see. Oh, by the way, I'm taking your car. Take mine to be inspected, will you? Hey, Ma, what'd you do with my baseball uniform?
I didn't do anything with it.
Well, I need it.
Well, I'm sorry, I haven't seen it.
But I got a game today.
What time?
How do I know? Where'd you put the schedule?
Didn't I tell you to put it inside the kitchen cupboard?
Oh. It's not here. I'm telling you, you can't find anything in this house. Here it is. How come you stuff this behind the refrigerator?
Oh, well, that's simple. I'm saving it. Feed the goat.
What goat?
The one I'm renting next week. His first job was to eat all the old soda cans in your bedroom.
Oh, funny, Ma. Very funny. The game's at 6 in Hampton. Can I take Dad's car?
In the rain? You're going to play baseball in the middle of what was practically a hurricane?
That's okay. I don't mind. Besides, you just called the weather service. It's not raining over there.
Wouldn't you know, every place else in the world the sun is out. Oh, my house, it rains.
I'm getting the keys after school.
No, I was going to go down to the beach.
No bother. It's raining down too.
Figures. Billy, forgot something.
Oh. Thanks.
Is this what you were looking for?
Yeah, how many stuff is there?
I don't know. I thought I might redecorate the house and turn of the century locker room.
Oh, you're weird, Ma.
Well, I'm beginning to think it runs in the family. You want this thing washed, you're going to have to do it yourself. I washed yesterday.
Don't worry about it. I can grab one more time.
Eddie, what are you doing here?
Reading
Well, I can see that. What are you reading?
a book.
Can I see? Yes,
Yeah, and I can read it too.
I can see that. You're really doing good now, aren't you?
Yeah, they don't seem to think I'm funny there.
No, you're not, Eddie. You're not funny at all. Well, not except for the means of it.
I used to think I was stupid, you know. But they explained to me the way I am.
How's that?
I can learn, you see. It just takes me longer.
No, that's what I tried to tell you.
Sometimes a whole lot longer. Like this week, we're going to learn to add. I could be 60 before I learn to subtract.
Oh, damn.
It's true, but I don't care. Not anymore.
Oh, there's your bus.
Oh, am I all right?
Yes,
Are my
yes,
shoes tied?
yes, your hair's brushed, your shirt's tucked in, you got your book, which is more than I can say for Billy. Oh, be careful crossing the street. Our traffic doesn't stop sometimes.
Okay.
Oh, you left Kleenex with you. Sounds like you're getting cold.
Yeah.
Okay, keep your sweater on.
Okay. Bye, Mom.
Bye.
How about ticket information? Is there a phone number you can give us for ticket information?
Yes, 263-9646. That'll tell you what's happening right now at the barn. It'll tell you future auditions, and you can also make your reservations.
So, if you are an aspiring playwright, actor, stage manager, or a lighting technician, or an enthusiastic theater goer, call the Barn Theater and get involved. Thank you for being with us today. This is Elisa Kennedy for Video on the Go.